What's up, guys? This is your host, RANKDILL, and I'm joined by my best friend since we were 7 years old, Maxwell. And we're MMA
Ooh,
Math.
what's happening, guys?
We got a little UFC 225 prediction show coming your way. And let's get to it, man. The first fight on the card is Mike Santiago and Dan Ige. What do you think about this, Maxwell?
It's gonna be a good fight. Two future contenders in the featherweight division.
Well, who are you picking on this one?
No, it's Santiago.
Santiago, cool, man, cool. Well, see, I wasn't really familiar with either one of these fighters, but I went back in on the UFC the Fight Pass, and I watched I think it's Ige, and he was on the Contender Series. He's a really good, like, technical kind of boxer. He's got good pressure. You know, he kind of reminds me of Diego Sanchez when he was a little bit younger. And but the only problem that he has, in my opinion, is with high level strikers. And his last fight he got outclassed by a good kickboxer, Julio Arce, and he lost that fight in decision. And Mike Santiago, he fought in the UFC way back in the day, and then he had 4 fights in league, the XFO, and he's got really good jiu-jitsu. So I noticed when he was in XFO that he got a couple of submission wins, and he's more experienced. I'm picking him even though he's an underdog in the fight, and I'm picking him via submission round 2. And the next fight on the card is Richard Coulter and Chris De La Rocha. What do you think about that, Maxwell?
Ah, I didn't see that one on the fight card.
Do you know who either one of these guys are?
Yeah, it's supposed to be the next fight's Clay Guida Charles over there.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't even looking at the card. I was looking at these notes that I made about the guys. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's Clay Guida and Charles Oliveira. Who you got in this, Maxwell?
I got my boy Clay Guida. All because he is a 6-time Fight of the Night winner. He never quits and he keeps coming. Has an iron chin, great cardio, and man, he's just a monster.
That's a good pick, man. I'm also going with Guida. He's a hometown boy. He's from Chicago. He's got really good pressure. He gets a little wild though. That's one of my main concerns with him against Oliveira. But I am gonna go with him. I think he's gonna win via decision. I think he's gonna use his wrestling, you know. And the only thing about that is Oliveira is really good at jiu-jitsu too. But I still think he's gonna tough it out. He's gonna win. I think it's gonna be a tough fight for him though. I think he comes out and wins the first round, the second round, and the third round I think Oliveira kind of starts taking over. You got anything to add on this fight?
Oliveira, he is great on the ground. He's got that Brazilian jiu-jitsu with him. He has a great heart, he will never give up. This is going to be a good fight. I think Guida knocked him out in the second round.
All right, good pick, man. All right, we're moving on up the card, man. We got Joseph Benavidez and Sergio Pettis. What you got, Maxwell?
I got on this one, I got Benavidez, who's coming off of the last fight win against Henry Cejudo. He's on a 6-5 win streak as of right now. And if he wins this, could he be the next title contender after Cejudo? Who knows?
Yeah, man. I totally agree. I think Sergio Pettis, he's really talented. He's young. His older brother Anthony Pettis, everybody knows him. Showtime. He fights a lot like Showtime. He's got the kicks. He's got decent grappling too. But Benavidez is coming off a knee injury. And if DJ or Mighty Mouse, if he wasn't in that division, I think Benavidez would be a multiple champion. Like he's the best in that division aside from Mighty Mouse. That's for sure. The only thing that bothers me is anybody coming off injury. They're always susceptible, to leg kicks and stuff like that, especially from the ACL tear. But I'm still going to go with Benavidez, man. I think he gets it done. He's a hard worker. He's a good fighter. And like I said, I think he's the best in that division aside from Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm also going Benavidez.
All right, well the next
decision.
Oh yeah.
Decision. Not Benavidez.
Yeah, that's how I've got him picked too. Sorry. Okay, the next fight is Anthony Smith and Sugar Rashad Evans.
On this one, Anthony Smith, he could be a future star. He's good at stand-up and his jiu-jitsu is on point. And for Rashad, this could be, I think this is a retirement fight. He's on a 4-fight losing streak, and if he loses this one, it'll be 5 in a row. I mean, he's past his prime. He should have retired long ago.
Yeah, man. Another fight I'm agreeing with you on. I'm surprised. Anthony Smith is 6'4". He's got a salty record, but he's a light heavyweight fighter, and they're fighting in light heavyweight this time. For some reason I thought that this was going to be a middleweight fight. Honestly, I don't like seeing Rashad at middleweight. I think he loses a lot, like way too much power. I think light heavyweight is where he belongs. I think we're gonna see a little bit more competitive fight than the last couple fights from Rashad. Let's get back to this Anthony Smith. He's got a 27-12 record. It's kind of salty, But
yeah.
I went back and watched his some fights on Fight Pass from him. I've seen him before. He's very recognizable. He kind of looks like a Diaz brother to me. But the thing about him is he's really explosive. He's got decent wrestling too. He's got a KO win over Hector Lombard, and Hector Lombard, he's a fucking beast, dude. Like he is. And he had 3 KOs in a row, but in his last fight, he fell short to Thiago Santos. But it was a competitive fight, and he lost by TKO. So, he's kind of got a salty record. Rashad is kind of hurting his legacy though. Like you said, I think he's kind of past his prime. I do like that he's back at light heavyweight at least, but in my opinion, he's more susceptible to a knockout now. And that's why I'm going to go with Anthony Smith via knockout in the second round.
I'm going with Anthony Smith in this fight, too.
It's tough, though, man. I remember Rashad when he knocked out Chuck. Forrest Griffin, man. Forrest Griffin is what got me into UFC. I remember watching him in The Ultimate Fighter, and it just sucks to see these guys that just don't know when to hang it up. And the thing is Rashad he's a really good analyst. He's really good, man. For UFC tonight, he's on there every once in a while, and I think that's where his home should be. I think that's what he should stick to.
I agree.
Okay, the next fight is Rashad Coulter and Chris De La Rocha. Who you got in this, Maxwell?
I'm going with Rashad Coulter. And the reason is because Rashad Coulter, he's a good boxer. His last fight was against Tia Savaya.
It's hard to say his name, man.
Yeah, and Chris De La Rocha, he's very athletic and he's explosive. But Rashad Coulter, he could be the next Black Beast if possible.
Yeah, man. What round are you picking in? Or are you picking a knockout or a decision or what?
I'm picking a knockout by Rashad Coulter in the first round.
Ooh. All right, well, here's my thing. Rashad Coulter, he's a big heavyweight, dude. He looks heavy, And he's coming back with 2 losses in a row. And Chase Sherman, he laid some combos on him, knocked him out in the second round. And then Tavesa got him in the first round. pretty hard knockout. He got him with like a flying knee. It was pretty nasty. But here's the thing, man. He throws hard and has a lot of energy early in the fight. And I don't know, this Chris De La Rocha guy, I couldn't find nothing, no fights on him on Fight Pass. I don't know anything about him, to be honest. But I don't know, like, just looking at his picture, he doesn't look like a very technical guy. He don't look like he throws leg kicks, which Coulter, that's one thing that he's susceptible to is leg kicks. Like, he doesn't check leg kicks. He was getting eat up. Chase Sherman eat his fucking leg up, dude. And then there's things about Coulter I like, but then there's things like he doesn't check the leg kicks. He's got a small gas tank, but one thing he's exciting, dude, because every time he throws, you just kind of hold your breath because you know, like, oh, this could be a knockout every time he throws. But De La Rocha, he's 3-2, and he's making his UFC debut, and I think Coulter's gonna. I think he's gonna tarnish that record even more, man. I got him winning first round TKO too. So
Nice.
I mean, we're agreeing on everything so far. I'm surprised. But the next fight on the card, it's a pretty exciting fight to me. It's oh shoot, I'm sorry. Mirsad Bektic and Ricardo Lamas. Who you got in this, Maxwell?
Yes, well, Ricardo Lamas is very explosive. I mean, if you watch the Josh Emmett fight, which was his last fight, he got whooped pretty bad. I mean, he got destroyed. And Mirsad Bektic, his last fight was against one of my favorites, Godfrey Pepe, and he got fight of the night in that fight. And this one, I think Ricardo Lamas comes back and dominates.
Yeah, man, that's a good pick, man. The thing about Mirsad Bektic, man, he's a beast. He's a really good wrestler. He ended his last fight with a nasty body shot. He's 12-1. He throws a lot of combos. He's really powerful on top. Has great ground and pound. The only loss he has is from Darren the Damage Elkins, man. And if you go back to that fight and you watch that fight, he dominated Darren Elkins the whole fight. He cut him up. He had him bad. He had him hurt really bad, dude. And Elkins, you know, he's just a beast, dude. And he caught him with a kick as he was trying to get up from the cage. And I don't know, man. I like this Mirsad Bektic dude. He's got a lot of talent. He's impressive. And I think he's gonna outclass Lamas, and I think he's gonna win by decision. So that's our first disagreement of the night.
Yep, it is.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. It's Claudia Gadelha and Carla Esparza. Who you got on that one?
Well, Claudia Gadelha is coming off a loss against Jessica Andrade. And I think if she wins this fight, she could be next in line for the title. As for Carla Esparza, she won against Cynthia Calvillo, which is one of my favorites. She's a former champion, the first champion that was crowned in the flyweight division, I believe. I'll have to go with Carla Esparza in this one. I think she gets back on to eat Claudia Gadelha's lunch.
So the Cookie Monster is going to eat that asshole.
Oh yeah.
Man, I've got to go with Claudia Gadelha, man. I think that she's best when she's in the bigger fights, you know. And she's got a really good clinch game. Now, Carla Esparza, she's a really good wrestler. She's really her stand-up's not the best though. And I think that's where Gadelha is gonna get her. I think she's gonna clinch her up, throw some bows, throw some knees, probably take her down. I think Gadelha is the better wrestler out of the two, also, and that's what Esparza is known for. So I'm gonna take Gadelha. I'm gonna take her by stoppage, second round TKO.
Yeah. I just looked at my notes and I made a mistake, guys. I'm taking Claudia Gadelha as well. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh my God, you can't change your pick now, bro.
Hey, I looked at my notes wrong. I'm sorry, guys.
All right, man. I'll take it. I'll let you change it. So far, we've got. We went through the card. We got both of us picked Mont Santiago over Dan Iggy or Iggy, however you say his name. We both picked Clay Guida over Oliveira. We both picked Joseph Benavidez over Sergio Pettis. We both picked Anthony Smith over Rashad. And we both picked Coulter over De La Rocha. And Maxwell picked Ricardo Lamas. And I picked Mirsad Bektik. And we both picked Claudia Gadelia. All right, I'm gonna take a minute now. Our good friend Super Herc, he had a birthday this week. Shout out to Super Herc, man. Happy 31st birthday, I believe. I'm going to go ahead and give you his picks also. I'm going to go through the whole card with him. He picked Santiago. He picked Guida. He picked Pettis to beat Benavidez. He picked Anthony Smith over Rashad. He picked Coulter over De La Rocha. He picked Lamas. He picked Carlos Esparza over Gadelia. He picked Alistar Overeem over Curtis Blades. I'm sorry about that. And he picked Mike Jackson over CM Punk. He picked Andre Arlovsky over Tia Tavesa. He picked Holly Holm over Megan Anderson. He picked Rafael Dos Nachos over Kobe Covington. And then he picked Yoel Romero to win the title. That's pretty good pick. So happy birthday, Super Hurt. We love you, brother.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Okay, so let's move on to the next fight in the card. It's the last fight on the FS1 prelim, or is it Fox or FS1 this week?
I believe it's FS1.
I think it's FS1 too. So the last fight on the FS1 card, which blows my mind, is Alistar Overeem and Curtis. I mean, look at this. The Fight Pass fights. Your Rashad Evans is headlining the Fight Pass, man. The Fight Pass card, and then you got Alistar Overeem headlining the prelims on FS1 against Curtis Blades. So break down this fight for me. Who you got, Maxwell?
Alright, as I break it down, Curtis Blades is coming off a win against Mark Hunt. He's also on a 3-fight win streak. Great cardio, he can go all day if needed. And for Alistar, his last fight was against Francis Ngannou. He got murked big time against Ngannou. Alistar's got great power in his hands. I mean, we all seen it. But in my opinion, I think it's time for him to ride off into the sunset. Because what else has he got left to prove? I mean, come on, guys. And in this fight, I'm going to go with Curtis Blades. I don't think Alistar has recovered yet from the Ngannou fight. I think Blades will get a big win and get his career started.
Well, Maxwell, that's a nice way of putting it. I've got Alistar Overeem, and I'll tell you why. It's not that I don't think Curtis Blades is impressive, because he definitely is. He's like a Division I wrestler in college, right?
Yes.
He was super impressive against Mark Hunt. Here's the thing, though. Mark Hunt had him hurt a couple times in that last fight, man. He really did. And if it wasn't for his wrestling, because his stand-up is straight good garbage. I know you remember us, because we were sitting there. Usually on the pay-per-views, we watched the pay-per-views together. I remember us talking about how garbage his stand-up was, which who are we to judge, you know? But it's it's kind of a tough fight, because what if Alistar can't stuff those those takedowns? And I honestly think that he can, though. He's a really good grappler. He's good in the clinch. He's got nasty punching power. And I'm actually I think he's gonna be a little reserved. I don't think he's gonna let his power fly, you know, like he would in some fights. Alistar's a little bit of a slow starter. I think it's gonna be kind of a boring fight, to be honest with you. I think Alistar's gonna be worried about the takedowns. He's gonna clinch up with him every time he tries to take him down and push him back. And I've got Alistar Overeem winning this. You're gonna think I'm crazy. By decision, though.
Good pick.
So I mean, that may sound crazy to people, but just watch the fight. Let's see what happens. All right, man. Kicking off the pay-per-view. UFC 225 in Chicago. We got CM Punk versus Mike Jackson. All right, man, you're going to have to break this down for me because man, this is crazy.
Yeah, it is. Well, CM Punk and Mike Jackson both last fought Nicky Gall together. They both got losses. And then the unique thing is, they both lost by submission. CM Punk has not fought in 2 years. 2 years, guys. So, this is telling me, could he be really training hard? Or is he still not got his shit together? And should he go back to pro wrestling after this? I don't know. Dana White's giving him one more chance. And if he falters, could this be the last time we see CM Punk? And my prediction, I'm saying Punk gets the win.
Via what?
Via decision.
All right, man. That's cool. Okay, man. This is going to be like two eighth graders out in the front yard fighting. I mean, I'm not trying to make a joke at their expense. I know Punk has been training hard for the last 2 years since his last loss. They both lost to Mickey Gall in the first round via rear naked choke. Mike Jackson, he was a professional boxer though. That's the one concern that I have. He's not like CM Punk. He comes from a fighting background, and you know, a lot of people make fun of him because I think he's an LFO photographer. He's a photographer. That's his real job. And he takes pictures of the fights and stuff, you know. And,
Yeah.
you know, the funny thing about photographers are, and he's in the Marvel comics and stuff. I don't know if you saw that, Maxwell.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. He retweeted me today, and the thing about him being a photographer is people forget Peter Parker was a photographer too. If you don't know who Peter Parker is, you shouldn't listen to the show, I guess, even though it is MMA. Everybody knows Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
So what I think is going to happen is I think Mike Jackson's going to go in there. I think he's going to sling a web in CM Punk's eyes and then knock him out. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I see the fight going another way too. I see CM Punk come to the ring and the lights going out, and then Sting coming down from the rafter with a baseball bat and knocking out Mike Jackson for him. Nah, man, I'm just kidding. You know, the thing about CM Punk, man, everybody's hating on him. I get the hate because he's not a real UFC fighter, and he's not even fighting anybody that has a high enough caliber to be in the UFC. But the reason he is where he's at, and the reason that he's fighting on the pay-per-view is because people are interested in it, and it sells tickets. You know, I get it. It's kind of tough for me, man, because he's got some good people around him. Like he's got Tyron Woodley with him, you know. So his wrestling could be legit. We really didn't have the chance to see like how good of a wrestler he was or how good his striking is. We didn't get a chance to see any of that. And the same thing with Mike Jackson, besides like a goofy ass jab that he threw, and he connected, by the way. But I don't know. I read some things online about Mike Jackson. I don't know if they were true, but I read that he was a Golden Glove champ, which you know how the shit in boxing is. I mean, they pad stats in boxing, and they probably, you know, he might have won over some dude that shouldn't even been in the ring, you know. I know he also had a Muay Thai fight, which he lost, I think by decision, and he's got another MMA fight on his amateur record. He actually won that one. So, I mean, when it comes to CM Punk and it comes to Mike Jackson, you really don't know what's going to happen. But if the fact that Mike Jackson he's an actual fighter, he's been through the amateur, he's been through the amateur ranks and stuff, I'm going to give it to him by decision, right?
Nice pick.
If you're watching the live video, you just seen like the kind of funny meme there. I don't think there's going to be a knockout. The one thing though I would say about CM Punk is if he does win, see, the things that I've read about him is how good of a wrestler he is and stuff. And I don't know, man. I could see him winning by submission. I could see him catching this guy. He's just a straight up boxer. and like a kind of a Muay Thai fighter. I don't know. I've never seen him throw a kick or anything. So I think CM Punk, he could come in there. Which if he comes in there like he did against Mickey Gall, I don't really know how that's gonna go. Because CM Punk kind of come in with his head down and come like straight at Mickey Gall, which was stupid. I mean,
Yes.
it was silly, you know. But I mean, I could see him getting a takedown and taking him down, submitting him. But honestly, I think it'll go to decision. And I think Mike Jackson will win. I think he'll outstrike him.
Good pick, good pick.
But no disrespect to either one of the guys. I mean, like, there's so much hate out there for him. I don't get that. I don't get the hate. Like, I mean, if you were in their position, would you not do it too?
Yeah.
I just
The
don't
reason why they
understand.
hate on him is because he comes from the fake stuff to the real stuff.
Yeah. Okay, well, we can go on to the next fight, I guess. Again, we went off too long for that. We got Andre the Pitbull Arlovski against... I can't say this guy's fucking name. It's Taya Tavesa or something. Some shit like that.
Yeah, I'll say Taya Tavusa.
Taya Tavesa. What you got in this fight, man? How do you see it going down?
Well, in this one, Andre, he's a legend. He's known as a pit bull. Coming off the last fight against a win against Stephen Struve, he's a dangerous striker. And in his last fight, he went back to his old school ways of kicking them legs and punching. Tia Tavusa, he's coming off a last fight win against Cyril Askew, and he's got an undefeated career. I'll have to go with my boy Andre Arlovski in this one via KO second round.
Well, that's a bold prediction there, Maxwell. Tavesa, man, he's got 9 wins so far, all 9 of them in the first round. And I don't know, man. I don't really see it going much different. I mean, let's say that Arlovski is another one of those guys that's kind of stayed in there too long, in my opinion. And I don't know, man. I think Tavesa gets him in the first round. I think he's going to have a 10-0 record, all 10 first round knockouts. I mean, I like Arlovski. I've been watching him since I was a kid. I love Arlovski, but I just don't think he's got it against one of these young guys. Like, I mean, let's face it. Everybody in that heavyweight division, it's a bunch of dinosaurs, man. Pretty much. I mean, there's a couple of younger guys that are coming up, like Coulter, like your boy Chase Sherman. He's kind of a younger guy, but he's not really on the same level as these other guys. But yeah, I'm gonna take Tavesa via KO in the first round. Well, we're moving. let's move on to the next fight. We got Holly Holm and Megan Anderson. I've heard it called Megan. I've heard it called Megan too. So I'm just gonna go with Megan. She's another Aussie fighter, just like Tavesa and Whitaker.
Yeah.
Who you got in this fight, Maxwell?
Well, Megan Anderson is making her MMA debut. When she was scheduled to fight Cyborg, but she got hurt before she could fight her. And Holly Holm, her last loss to Cyborg for the championship. She beat Ronda. She beat Betch Correia.
I'm sorry, guys, on the stream, something went wrong with my TV, and it messed up what was going on there. I'm sorry about that. Okay, we were talking about Megan. Could you say that again, Maxwell? I'm sorry, I was trying to fix this.
Alright, well, I said that Megan's making her UFC debut. She was scheduled to fight Cyborg way back when, but I believe she got injured, if I'm not mistaken. And Holly Holm's coming in after a loss to the Cyborg for the title. Holly Holm has beat Ronda. She's beat Betch Correia. She's one of the best kickboxers in the world. And I'm going to go with Holly Holm with the second round KO.
Actually, the thing about Megan, this isn't her MMA debut. She fought in Invicta. She's got
That's a UFC. It's a UFC debut.
it's her UFC debut. Yeah, yeah. Uh, let's see. I went back on the Fight Pass. I watched her. I watched all her fights, and the one of the fights that I watched her in, it was one of her first fights. I didn't write down the chick's name. She was some kind of heavier blonde chick. She grappled her down and got her in a triangle. Man, it's kind of a hard pick for me, man. Megan, she's got a large gas tank. She's got a lot of cardio. She can throw. She's got knockout power, dude. Like every one of her fights ended in a knockout. And like there was this one fight, the last fight that she had in Invicta, I watched it, and she made a girl's nose explode from a nasty kick. The only problems that I have with Megan is she's kind of like a brawler. She's kind of sloppy sometimes. She gets hit a lot too. Like the chick that I was just talking about, where she blew her nose up. She hit her with like 3 spinning elbows, and I mean honestly, the chicks in Invicta they're not on the same level as the girls in the UFC. And Holly Holm's she's a technical boxer. She's not going to go for any of that bullshit. She's not going to get sucked into some kind of brawl, you know. So I'm going to take Holly Holm second round TKO also. I think she's gonna box her up. I think Megan's gonna have some spots in the fight though that's gonna be really impressive, and you know it's gonna be kind of scary. But you can't knock out Holly Holm, dude. Cyborg couldn't even finish Holly Holm.
Oh, you can't.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Holly Holm via TKO second round, just like you. But that's an interesting fight though. Like, and the reason that it wasn't because of injury, it was because she had visa problems. I don't know. I didn't look into it very much. I looked at it though. But yeah, it should be a really fun fight to watch. I love Holly Holm too, man. She's a legit boxer. You know, she's got multiple championships in women's boxing. So, but Megan ain't no joke either. I hate that they brought her in against Holly Holm, man. Like I wish that she could have fought somebody like Betch Kohea or somebody in that 145. I think Betch is in. Yeah, she's in the 145 now too. I mean, cause she's a big girl, dude. She's like 6 foot, 6'2", I think. Yeah. And she's gonna have the reach on Holly too. I mean, she could give Holly some trouble, but I just think Holly's way too technical. Holly's got some of the best footwork in the UFC. So I think she's gonna box her up and finish her. So let's go on to the next fight, man. We got Rafael dos Nachos and bro.
Alright. On this one, Rafael dos Santos, he's an excellent ground and pound. Last fight was against Robbie Lawler, which he won. He had some notable wins, big wins, over people like Donald Cerrone, Anthony Pettis, Nate Diaz, and Bellator's own Vincent Henderson. Kobe Covington, he's on a five-fight win streak. He last dominated Damian Maia in Brazil. And the key to this, he hates Brazilians, and he hates nerds. He ruined Star Wars for everybody. So
and the Avengers.
And the Avengers. He ruined everything. I'm saying Rafael dos Anjos gets the title, and he will become the new interim champion.
That's funny. You're a nerd, Maxwell. You got Cheeto dust all over your fingers. And anybody hating on Kobe, just get off the computer, stop jerking off so much, and go get a girlfriend, you bunch of virgins. Dude, Rafael dos Anjos, he's legit, man. He's got really good stand-up. He looked awesome against Robbie Lawler, but he hurt Lawler. I think he tore his ACL or something like that in the first round, something crazy, which let his hands go. I mean, Robbie couldn't do nothing. He was working off one leg. Don't take anything away from Dos Nachos though. I mean, he's legit. He beat the ever living shit out of Nate Diaz, which is it's crazy, man. Anybody that could just dominate Nate Diaz, like, they're legit, Here's the thing about Dos Anjos though. He's got a lot of trouble with wrestlers. Like Guida beat the shit out of him. There was one or two other fights that I watched of his this week, and he had a lot of trouble with some wrestlers being off his back. He's not that great off his back. I think he's gonna fight with a chip on his shoulder because Kobe's run his mouth so much, and I think Dos Anjos deserves this shot. It's a shame that Tyquil Woodley, he doesn't want to fight. He wants to be on TMZ and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I'm going with Kobe, though. Kobe's got, like, outstanding wrestling. And I think Kobe's going to win decision. I think he's going to just be sucked to Rafael Dos Anjos. I don't think he's going to let him breathe. But I do think Dos Anjos is going to win the first 2 rounds. I think Kobe's going to take over in the third, maybe the later end of the second round. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be like you're going to be holding your breath the first 2 rounds because Dos Nachos is going to come out there, swinging, son. And I think that's what's going to hurt him, man. He's a smaller guy in the fight. Kobe's going to be huge compared to him. I don't know, man. I just see it going for Kobe. Kobe's the new blood. There's a lot of new guys coming into that welterweight division, which is stacked.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Tyron Woodley, you got Stephen Thompson, you got Darren Till. Darren Till went up to number 3, I think, today in the rankings, which is, I mean, it's crazy because he missed weight and he barely beat Stephen Thompson, right?
Correct.
Which it was a good fight. A lot of people are hating on him now because they gave him the fight. I thought that Till won also. I'm one of the minority on that, I know. Because, I mean, that's all I hear is how Wonder Boy won, 3-2 rounds or whatever. But I thought Till kind of set the pace in the octagon, Anyways, to me, the real fight would have been Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington, though. Like that, I mean, they've been in the division longer, they've been working longer, and that's more of an interesting fight, in my opinion, because it's 2 young guys. Both of them have awesome wrestling. I think Kamaru's got the edge on the feet for sure, and the wrestling is almost even, but Colby's got a good way of getting into people's heads by talking shit. I mean, he blows Twitter up all the time, and like I personally like that side of him. He's like a Chael Sonnen, pardon the pun, but on steroids with his shit talking, And I mean, I like what he's doing for the sport, man. He's making it interesting, And like when he called the Brazilians trash, like, that it's a character. That's all he is. I mean, he's floating the character around. He's kind of like doing the Conor McGregor thing, which I think I think he's more like, I think that's actually how Conor is, but I think people are trying to copy it, But I honestly think that Colby has the talent to be the next champion, I think he could beat Tyron Woodley also.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
Well, it's time for the main event, guys.
That's a clean left hand.
Yoel Romero is going to be fighting Robert Whittaker for the legit championship, which is crazy. I mean, you just think right now, if GSP wouldn't have vacated his title, just think about this. We could have Robert Whittaker and GSP. To me, that's an easy fight. That's an easy fight, in my opinion. But I'm looking at, before we go to our picks, I'm going to look at the Vegas odds real quick. Okay, starting at the bottom, they've got Dan Ige. They got him favored over Santiago. It's -138 to +118. Clay Guida's the underdog, so I mean that right there might be some money if you want to put some money on him. He's only a +125 though. Benavidez is a -250, so I think pretty much everybody's kind of seeing it the way we are. Anthony Smith is a -310. Ah, man, I don't know about that. I might actually would put some money down on Rashad because of the odds. Just because you never know. He's got punching power,
Yes, he does.
And Coulter, they got him. He's a slight favorite over Chris De La Rocha. I think I might put money on him. It's negative 180 to plus 155. They got Bektik favored over Lamas, negative 225. That's pretty good odds. Claudia Gadelia is negative 520 over Esparza plus 405. That's if you put some money on Esparza, man, you could make some money. Curse Blades, it's almost an even. They got him favored negative 170 to plus 145. Mike Jackson's a negative 200 favorite over CM Punk plus 170. Andre Arlovsky is the underdog in their fights plus 185. Tavesa's got negative 220. Holly Holm is the negative 210 favorite over Megan Anderson. Rafael Dos Nachos is the underdog. Holy crap. Yesterday he was the favorite. Covington's negative 130 over plus 110. So, but in the main event, you got Robert Whittaker. He's negative 230, and Yo Romero's plus 195. So it's pretty close, you know. Vegas has got him going close.
That's true.
So Maxwell, who you got in this fight, man?
Well, in this one we have Robert Whittaker. He's a champ, and he lost fought Yoel almost a year ago. And he tore his ACL, and he's coming off the injury from Yoel. Yoel is an interim champ, which he destroyed Luke Rocco. I mean, he blasted him all over. He has big wins against Tim Kennedy, Lyoto Machida, Jacare Souza, and Chris Weidman. Yoel's got power in hand, and I am going to take the soldier of God, Yoel Romero. And he will be your new champ. Count on it. With the second round, with the third round KO.
That's an interesting pick, Maxwell. You know, the thing when I look at this fight, CFN Stumps plays, ask who we got in Punk and Jackson. We've already been over that. I picked Jackson via decision, and Maxwell picked Punk via decision. So, but moving on to the main event. This is going to be a good fight. The first fight was phenomenal. Yoel hurt Whittaker in the first round with a leg kick. I think he tore his ACL. But the thing about Whittaker, man, he's an awesome striker. He can move in and out. Stumps calls Punk with an armbar. What did I say? If CM Punk won, he would win via submission. That's what I thought. But going back to it, man, Whittaker, he's explosive. He's got good power. He's got good kicks. Romero, dude, he's an Olympic wrestler. I mean, he throws all kind of crazy fucking knees and like flying elbows and crap. Like, he's a beast, but he's 41 years old also. And the thing about Romero is the first 3 rounds, or the first 2.5 rounds, like he's gonna throw some crazy shit. He's gonna have a lot of energy in the first round, especially. I see him throwing like some crazy knees, trying to catch him off guard. But in the later rounds, if he can't finish Whittaker in the first 2 rounds, I think that's where Whittaker's gonna take over. But I personally think that Whittaker is that's exactly what's gonna happen. I think the first 2 rounds, Yoel's going to come in there. It's going to be competitive, but I think Yoel's going to edge out the first 2 rounds, like 10-9 rounds, you know. And then after that, I think Whittaker is going to take over. And I'm calling Whittaker 4th round TKO.
Good call.
I think it's going to be a really good fight. It's going to be, man, this whole card is stacked. This is the best card of the year for sure. And Stumps said that he helped RDA knock Covington out. I think a lot of people hope that, brother. But yeah, man, that's the fights. You have anything else to add on the fights?
No, it's going to be a great night of fights, and hope everybody can tune in and watch it.
Yeah, man. We might make another video like the day after, or maybe like right after the fights. You know, just just kind of going through like our reactions, like a reaction video. Stump said Punk by flying armbar. Like, that would be crazy, and it would be cool. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't see somebody coming in, you know, off 3 years of training and getting a flying armbar on an actual MMA fighter. But I'm pulling for it, man. That'd be freaking amazing. And I'm really he is training with top level people. We mentioned that too about him training with like Tyron Woodley, and Duke Rufus is his striking coach. I mean, he's got some legit trainers, and it should be interesting, man. Like, nobody really knows what's going to happen about that fight, and I think that's the one. I think that's the one that most people are most excited about, you know, because nobody knows what's going. It's kind of like the Conor McGregor and Mayweather. Nice punch. And excellent movement on the ground. I don't know, man. Stump says that his striking is shit, though. I mean, honestly, though, what do you have to go by? What I mean, because I mean, he really didn't get any punches off against Mickey Gall, and Mickey Gall is a freaking brown belt, dude. I think Punk is still a white belt. I mean, 9 times out of 10, a brown belt's always, you know, they're going to beat the white belt every time. They're just going to take him to the ground and do exactly what he did. But the thing about Punk is he's an amateur MMA fighter who went straight to the UFC. Didn't even have an amateur fight, you know.
Nope.
So, I mean, what happened to him is what's to be expected, especially against a killer Mickey Gall, man. But anyways, if you like this video, if you like what we're doing, just like and subscribe it. We've done a couple of these back in the day, and we didn't call it MMA Math. That's kind of what we're gonna call our show from now on. And we're gonna try. I'm gonna try to do this for all the fights. I don't know if my friend Maxwell can join me every time, but he's gonna be my co-host every time for sure. We got another friend, Super Herc, that's done them with us before. It should be fun. So if you're not already, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. You know, give us a little bit of support. We like doing this, and if it, you know, maybe if it gets bigger, if the channel gets bigger, we might start like a podcast. You know, put it out there on iTunes or whatever. That'd be cool. But yeah, man, we love the UFC. I like Bellator too. I like Invicta. You know, I like all that shit. So. And I listen to the Big Brown Breakdown. I'm a big fan. I know you are too, Maxwell.
Breakdown no more.
Oh yeah, Below the Belt and The Fighter and the Kid. You know, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's my hero. That's another thing I didn't address. If Kobe wins and he actually slaps Joe Rogan, it's gonna be freaking amazing. I hope he doesn't, but it'd be hilarious though if he actually slapped Joe Rogan. You know. But anyways, guys, we appreciate you watching our video. We hope to see you back, man. Hit that subscribe button, and we're fixing to go off the live chat. But you know, comment down below what you think of our picks and who you're picking, and let us know, guys. Let us know if there's something you want to see us do different. You know, I like doing the UFC 3 simulation in the background. That way you can kind of watch something while we're talking about it. Anyways, I'm going to keep making these videos. Just let us know what you think, man. I guess that's it, Maxwell. You got anything you want to shout out real quick?
No, not really.
Well, you can add me on Twitter. I'm at RANKDILL, or I'm sorry, at the RANKDILL. That's TheRankDill. And Maxwell is at Maxwell2111. Ain't that right?
Maxwell 2111.
2111. So check it out, guys. I mean, try not to be mean. But that's our names right there on the Twitter. So let us know what you think, guys. Thank y'all.